Right, so yeah, we're back in the shop and doing a little testing. So what I've done is I've purchased a new brand of UV clear, and most of the writing is in Chinese, I believe, on the bottle, so the instructions are almost useless. To me anyway, I apologize, I don't read. And I've got Luminite UV, or Alumi UV. This is the quarter-pound bottle. This is 100 grams. So there's a little bit of a difference. This one's 113 more or less grams. This is 100 grams. The price difference is, there's some substantial difference, mostly because of shipping, unfortunately. But the Luminite is $20 for the bottle, plus $7.50 for shipping. Now, if you buy a bunch of stuff, it's flat shipping, so that's a pretty good deal, because you spread that shipping cost around your whole deal. But as a cost comparison, just straightforward, just one against the other, this one was $15 including shipping. So the actual cost for them is, this one ends up being about 15 cents a gram, and this one's about 25 cents a gram. So that's about a 9.25 cent difference, which is about 60% difference in cost per gram. So you pay about 60% more for the Alumi UV than you do for this. The question is, are they comparable? Let's test this thing. So what I've done is I've taken a couple of my normal PVC test strips that I do for just about any kind of coating that I'm going to test, and I've painted them black, and then I've sprayed some polyacrylic on it as a mid coat, because I know the UV clear likes to go on top of it. So what I'm going to do is two tests. One is on the plastic, I'm going to put a nice even coat just like I would on a lure, and that is to test two things. One, how quickly it sets, and the other, how glossy they are, and then how hard they are too. I'll do a little bit of a hardness test, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little droplet on these paper eyes. These are just stick-on flat eyes, and I'm going to turn them into 3D eyes. So this test will check to see how well they dome or bead up, and then how quickly that sets, because that's going to be a much thicker layer. And I'll be using my micro UV chamber, which is a small one, little spotlight, and we'll see how quickly it sets, and then again how shiny it is and how hard it is. So stick around, there's likely going to be less talking and more showing, so hopefully the results will be useful and it won't be a draw. So stick around and watch. Okay, so the next step is these little tabs, and you can see they're painted black. It was flat black, the tester's airbrush paint. Still a little rough looking, but that's what I wanted. I want to see how it fills in, how it sets up, and how hard it gets. So far on the eyes, they set up just as hard, just as quickly. Now I went ahead and mounted them on that light to give them a good solid 10 minutes. 10 minutes should be enough under that really intense little light. So the plan is to go ahead and give these a coat. I'll put these in front of there, get these hardening, and then we'll grab those eyes and give them a little bit of a hardness test and try to see if there's a difference in gloss. Let's pull it off here. That should have given us a good hard finish. Well, here's the finished product. You can see I was pretty sloppy putting it down, but it doesn't but that doesn't take away from the test. So this is the Chinese made with the C, and this is the Alumi UV. Just feeling it, they're both about the same set. So now looking at them under this light and checking for gloss, I don't see a big difference. I don't see a whole lot of difference in shine, finish. They both look pretty doggone glossy. But let's do a little hardness test here at this point. I'm gonna just take these Draftsman's dividers, and you can see they got some pretty good point. They got a little bit of heft, so I'm just gonna set them down on the top of the little ball of resin and see how easy it is to get them to penetrate. So I'm trying to push down a little bit and see if I can get it to go and penetrate in. The Alumi has some pretty good resistance to penetration. I don't really feel it going in with like just moderate pressure. Let me try the Chinese brand. You know, I feel no difference in them at all. The other two tabs are spinning in my turner and setting up. I'm going to give those things about an hour. Okay, so I've pulled these out of the UV chamber, and well, it's difficult to tell which one is which. I'm not going to show you which one is which, and you decide which one's glossier. Difficult to tell. Let me switch around in case the light is actually playing any part of it. I have to say, there's no real difference. I can't see a difference. So the worst, I guess, has happened. I guess you could look at it as the best. I don't see any difference between the two. So this at $20 and this at $15. This takes a while to get to you since it's got to come across the Pacific and then across the country. So you wait 2 to 3 weeks for that. So let's recap. We checked to see how quickly it set. There's no difference. We checked how hard it was. No difference. Checked to see how well it actually beat it up. And no real difference there either. So gloss, no difference. So I would have to say they're equivalent. It's going to be up to the user whether you can wait for it to come in, whether you'd rather buy locally. I do have to say the Alumi products have always been pretty good right out of the box, right out of the bottle. It's going to be up to you if the 60% extra cost for the Alumi is worth it to you. I hope this was helpful to you. I would love some comments, some feedback. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.